Well, I found out where all the shovel-ready jobs were. It has been quite a day for me today, and I'm going to tell you all about it right now. Found out where all the shovel-ready jobs were. Actually, it was my neighbor's dogs in my backyard. Created a shovel-ready job for me today. By the time I got done with that, I had to take my kid to school. And so, we got all in the car, and we got over there, I dropped him off, and just as I started heading back to the safe confines of my home, my accountant calls me. He's like, "Hey, Dave, you got to come in here. I've got some urgent paperwork for you from the federal government." And I was like, "Are you serious?" And I'm freaking out. And so I get over there, and by the time I sit down at his desk, he's like, "Well, here you go. Here's your fine." I was like, "Fine? What did I do? It's not even the end of the quarter. I haven't even filed anything." And he's like, No. You don't have any medical insurance, so you gotta pay the fine for that." And I was like, "But I have cash. I'm fine. I don't need it." And he's like, "Well, you have to have it." I was like, "You gotta be kidding me." So decided to get out of there. I was just gonna pay the fine, take off. Got outside, my car was gone. My car. I thought it was stolen. So about 2 miles and 2 hours later, I'm finally home, and just then, about not even 2 minutes after I'm walking down my driveway, here comes my car. Yeah. And guess who pops out of it? That's right, the senator of my own beloved state. I said, "Dude, what are you doing in my car?" He was like, "Hey, it's a GMC. It's owned by the government. I be the government." And I was like, "You gotta be kidding me." And I looked at the gauge, and it was on full. Was. By then, I just had it. Decided just to walk back up the driveway and check my mail. Got my electric bill. That was unbelievable. As a matter of fact, I opened it up, and it said, because my friend said I didn't have to pay any taxes this year, we're going to go ahead and double your bill, because we'd like to make some more money. I was like, "You got to be kidding me." It said, "Please pay in a timely manner." I was actually going to call him because I was really upset. I was going to call him, but I don't have international calling on my phone, so that kind of threw a stick into that whole thing. Figured out I'll just have to take care of that too. By this time, guys, I am just so tired. I am so wiped out. I decided, I'm going to go sit down, and I'm going to go into my office. I work at home. I'm going to go into my office and just do some work and just forget about what's happened over the day, and walk upstairs, look at my door to my office. It's padlocked on the outside with an EPA sticker on the front. That's right. I had too much dust in my office. In my office. In my house. And they said, "Unsuitable for working." So, figured I'd go ahead and get that cleaned up, and went ahead and got some filters for the vents in my house, and I figured if I turn on the fan, I think this would be fine. So I went ahead and started, I went over to turn on the fan and everything else, and I noticed that the fan didn't come on, and I started flicking light switches. Light switch didn't come on, and because what's-his-face didn't get my double payment, and I missed half of that payment last month that I must have missed, they shut my power off. I figured, what, forget them, I'll just go with something else. So I decided, and I told myself, what, let's get some cheap renewable resources out here, and I had a solar company come out, and they started fixing up my stuff for me and got it all put in and everything else, and I went and they gave me the bill, and I was like, I thought it said $500 million, but it wasn't. It was only $500 and something, and I was like, well, that's sweet. I can deal with that. So I went in and I flicked on the switch and I said, "Hey, lights aren't working." And they were like, "Well, we said we'd installed, we didn't say that it worked." And I was like, "You've got to be kidding me. What a day. What a day." So after that, here I am making this video, and I'll tell you what, glad I live in the USA. Just kidding. That stuff was flying through my head last night, not kidding. I thought it was absolutely hilarious. I was just like, what if that stuff actually happened to somebody in one day? Could you imagine that? All of these crazy little things that are absolutely asinine and insane. Could you imagine if it really did happen in one day to one person? I don't know what I would do. I'm like, wow, that's pretty crazy. Anyways, guys, thank you very much for opening up the email and getting onto this video and putting up with my political humor. I am kind of right-wing, and I enjoy it. But the thing is that I'm not so right-wing that I forget how people feel. And here's the thing, let's talk about that right now. As a matter of fact, as an ex-insurance producer, I was in San Francisco one time and I actually got to tour this building because I was on this little city tour and things like that. And it was quite interesting because we went into this building and it was really, really cool. But, you know, I did notice the faces of people on there. They were just either dead serious or there's a lot of people there that just look like they didn't want to be there. You know, they're sitting in their 9-to-5s and everything else. But inside of this building, what I did realize and what I did notice was that there was, you know, there were little custodial closets. I was a custodian once at a university a long time ago in my early 20s. So I noticed that this building had its janitors and its maintenance groups, okay? You know, these guys, janitors, you know, blue-collar work, and I know I was one of you guys, man. I totally appreciate the fact of what you guys do. I did that work, and I understand that. But the thing is that in reality, these guys were just moping along, doing their thing, changing light bulbs, cleaning toilets, cleaning sinks, wiping off mirrors, cleaning glass, and doing their thing for minimum wage or maybe a little bit better. Were they really happy? I don't know. Maybe some were, maybe some weren't. Next thing you know, we started walking into up towards the middle part of this building, and we're walking in, and it's just a vast room of these little tiny cubicle areas, and all these people sitting in them, and some of these guys were just like, I mean, they looked like they were stressed out. Some of these people were just like, yes, okay, yes, fill the form out. I was just like, you know, they don't really look all that happy either. And these guys, you know, they were just basic employees, you know, doing the basic employee white-collar stuff, and I thought that was pretty cool and everything. And then all of a sudden, we started getting higher up in this building, and I noticed that the offices were bigger. They had some areas that were really wide open, but there was different big glass offices. I mean, you could see right in them, and you could see that these guys were kind of the middle management, okay? And that was really, really kind of cool. But I also noticed the look on their faces too. I was just like, you know, I actually heard somebody was like, you know, honey, I won't be done until about, you know, 7 o'clock tonight. And I was like, wow, that 9 to 5 just became a 9 to 7, and then you're gonna miss out on your family. I was like, that's kind of a bummer deal. And then some of the other people in their offices, they were just, you know, goofing around, playing around, and some of them were just sitting there going, blah, you know, and some of them just didn't look happy once again. Pretty insane. Next thing you know, we got to the crux of it. We got to the top of this building. To the top of this building. And I noticed that there was just one really huge office. And the thing is, there was like, you know, quite a few people in there, but they all looked like kind of like secretarial positions. I think maybe for running all of these different sections in this building. But the thing is that the one big office back there was totally empty. There was nobody in it. There's nobody there. So apparently that told me that this is where the boss lives. But apparently the boss don't live there because the boss is out somewhere else doing his own thing, apparently. I didn't see him. I didn't see him at all. There was nobody in that office. Lights were off, big fat leather chair, the view, the telescope, and everything else. But I got one from nowhere to be found. Nowhere to be found, but about maybe 7 or 8 other people out there scurrying around, frantic. I was like, wow, this is pretty crazy. That's a funny situation there. You know, I'm going to tell you something real quick. I work from home. I do. I work from home. I work from home, I work from home, I work from home. You know, I'm into internet marketing and doing network marketing, multi-level marketing, and a lot of people sit there and go, oh man, that's a pyramid scheme, it's a pyramid scheme. I was like, well, if I have the opportunity to get to the top of the pyramid, and then I have the opportunity to help my people do the same thing, get to the top of this pyramid, I think that's a pretty gosh darn good thing. Especially if they're all going to be smiling like I am. Doing the work, but the work I love, and doing the work the way that I want to do it. From the comfort of my home. Period. Period. Some people do. They call it a pyramid scheme. As a matter of fact, network marketing and MLM is very synonymous with pyramid scheme. Just look at the Google search algorithms and they'll tell you. When they see network marketing, they automatically assume pyramid scheme. They do. But in the city of San Francisco, sits a huge building with all of these people in it that I pointed out. Many of them very unhappy. Many of them just working a basic 9 to 5 or a 9 to 7 really, making minimum wage or more than minimum wage, but either way, missing their family, being away from their family, really not generating the kind of lifestyle that they really want. How do I know? There were so many different cubicles with different posters in it of far away, wonderful places. I know that these people, yes ma'am, look at these things going, man, they just wish they could get there. Wish they could have that kind of lifestyle that the guy at the top of this building in San Francisco had. I'm a highly successful online entrepreneur. I am part of one of the largest network marketing companies in the world. Matter of fact, the most successful network marketing company in the world, who creates more, they've just been creating success after success after success for individuals, getting individuals here, period, for over 30 years, helping people live healthier lifestyles, helping people that have had medical issues, helping people on a constant basis change their lives, better health, for better financial future, period. Here's my thing. I'm going to tell you this before I let this turn this video off and everything else. Here's the deal, guys. Right now I'm going to tell you this. No matter what, God bless you and whatever you are doing. But here's the question for you. You need to, seriously, figure out how are you going to find success and get out of the rat race. Period. How are you going to get out of the rat race? How are you going to get out of that rat race? Here's something else I want to leave you with real quick. Seriously, guys. Pick your pyramid. Pick your pyramid. You got a 9 to 5 pyramid. You got a network marketing pyramid. You got an online pyramid. Pick your pyramid. Period. Anyways, thank you guys very much, no matter what. God bless.